them are more than pals.
Our show can be a little gay,
But if you're not,
that's okay.
you can listen and have fun either way. Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews. Game of Thrones, Winona too. We promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Kat.
Wendy here.
This is Tara.
On today's Snopisode, we have a mail sack. We're talking some Moon Knight. We're talking some Winona Earp. We got everything, everywhere, all the time. Killing Eve. Are you kidding? There's so much going on.
So much.
Right.
But first, Wendy Woody. What day is it?
What day is it? It is, well, on the 12th, when you could possibly be listening to this, National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day.
Oh, hell
I like
yeah.
a good grilled cheese.
Yum.
Also, Big Wind Day. Wind. I don't know in what capacity. Why celebrate Big Wind unless it's for wind energy? Because here in California, it gets very windy and it's unpleasant because it's really windy.
Because of the fires.
So to have a day that you sort of celebrate the giant wind seems weird.
Yeah, I think that was a holiday created by Big Wind.
Oh,
if you know what I mean.
Damn it, Big Wind.
That Big Wind. Yeah.
It's rude. The 13th,
Rude.
make lunch count day. So do something
What?
important with your lunch.
Maybe eat a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, but you'd be a day late.
You're
The
never a day
14th?
late with a grilled cheese.
Here's a goal. National Reach as High as You Can Day. Let's see if that's metaphorically or literally.
I can reach pretty high.
Okay, evaluate our goals, do our best to reach them. So on the 14th,
never mind.
Sounds
Different.
lame. Like a lame holiday.
I can reach higher doing this than going for my goals.
Can it be
so.
like, like how many beers can you drink?
That's a
And
goal. That's a goal.
still,
drive a car? No.
No.
Come on, Kat. That's
Kat,
not funny. Do not
No.
joke about that.
stay like in the safety of
Kat's
your
in
own
a
home with
mode.
your friends. And can you walk in a straight line? I don't know.
What day did I say
Drink
that was?
responsibly.
That's,
Always. Listen,
It's always drink responsibly.
if there's anything we've always talked about, it's drinking responsibly.
Do not listen to Kat. Oh my God.
Sarah, if this was on the 15th, which is a Friday, I would come over and we could test out to see how far we could go and drinking beers and walking a straight line. But it's a Thursday. I have to work Friday, so I can't do it. So sorry. On the 15th, though, National Rubber Eraser Day. Remember the good old rubber erasers?
Big rubber
When
eraser.
people-
What do
Or
they
like
make erasers at?
pencils.
Oh, the big one.
Isn't it people's brains or something from Eraserhead? Didn't you learn that? They take it out of people's heads and that's how they make erasers? I'm just saying. David Lynch movie.
Oh,
That's how they
wow.
made erasers.
First
by-
time I've ever heard that.
No, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was part of it.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's freaky.
Yeah,
It's
Lynch.
creepy. It's early Lynch. Extra
Oh,
creepy.
super creepy.
Black and white.
Low budget
grainy.
creepy.
It was
Hmm.
freakishly creepy. But anyway, Saturday. Okay. April 16th. It's a Saturday. Now, a lot of people do work on weekends. I used to work on weekends. Sometimes I still do. National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day, but it's unfortunate it falls on a Saturday. I mean, there are still people at work. So if you're working on a Saturday, wear your PJs.
Interesting.
We wind up with April 17th, a Sunday, National Cheese Ball Day. I love a good cheese ball.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is mean like a ball of cheese that you put crackers in,
No.
or, they
Oh.
have those big, well, that's kind of what it means. But remember, they have those big tubs of cheese balls at places like Sam's and Costco.
Yeah.
You get a giant tub of cheese balls. We used to have those at work.
Makes me think of The Office when I think of those giant cheese balls.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese
I
ball.
love a cheese ball. I love a cheese puff.
Mm-hmm.
You should have a
Cheese in
cheese
all its forms.
cheese ball, like it's a ball, like a fancy ball, but nothing but cheese. on
Right,
the menu.
cheese, and then like maybe there's like nuts around it or something.
Yeah.
Ew.
You know, like
Nuts around
I don't like
it.
the nuts
Yeah.
part.
I'm not making this up.
No, it
Nuts
had a
and
picture
cheese?
of the
Yeah.
It had a picture
Really?
of that on the cheese ball
It's
day.
like you
thing.
roll it around, like you roll the
Mhm.
ball of cheese around in some like toasted nuts or something.
Hmm.
Like I feel like it's almonds.
Like shaved almonds or something would be
Yes,
good.
not whole.
Not like an entire almond. Like
No.
it would just be a little hard to eat.
Definitely shaved.
So I would say
Uh,
I have had the cheese ball, but I usually let someone else break the nut barrier, and then
Right.
I'll go inside and avoid.
oh,
the
you go
nuts.
around the nut. You go. I see.
Yeah. I don't want the
Wow.
nuts and the cheese.
I respect it.
Eh.
I think there's only one thing left to do at this point in our show.
Uh-oh.
We're jumping into the mail sack.
Oh, okay.
Thought you were gonna invite us over for
You
cheese.
looked so scared. Hey, disclaimer, sort of. We took a week off the mail sack last week, and as you can only imagine, I don't want to say it's bulging, but it's
Well, then
maybe,
I'm glad you didn't.
Is it
It's that-
swollen?
it's swollen.
Ew.
It's bulbous,
I like
misshapen.
bulbous.
Ew.
So what we're going to do
Ready to pop.
it is going to burst at any minute. So to relieve the pressure, we're going to
Oh.
we're only going
Oh.
We're only going to do some mail this week. We're going to try to break it up a little bit. So if you send us an email, we're going to get to it. We're so sorry. We're only 3 people. God damn it. But we're going to try to do an extra bonus mail sack next week
Yes.
to get caught
Because
up.
we love getting all the mail.
It's probably the highlight of my fucking week.
But like it is. Mine too.
Yeah.
But like we can do a whole bonus episode of it, which is why we're going to do that.
It's so much fun. And so maybe if you we're not saying don't email us. We would never say that. We're just saying, hey, take a week off. If you're
Yeah.
going to send us an email, let us get caught up because we don't want to. We're just doing our best, okay?
But if you want to email, just know that it might get moved to the next week
Exactly.
also.
So we just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Why?
We love you. We love you all.
Yeah.
We love you. We love that you love our sack. So no, too much.
But it's pushing it, Kat. Even for me.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah. I'm ready to get into this.
Let's start
You know-
the mail.
Yeah. All right, I'm up first. I've Hildy.
That was such a weird moment.
I know. Look, I'm injured, Kat. I'm injured.
Oh no!
I
Ooh,
rode for my team and training ride 60 miles or 50 miles yesterday. So we cut back, but then we did 3,400 feet of elevation.
ugh.
So I was going up a hill
Oh no, Tara.
and my bike tire slipped on some gravel.
Take a
And
tumble.
luckily, I didn't fall into traffic. I fell out of traffic,
Always the fear.
but I'm still, unfortunately, I fell into the very large, jagged rocks.
No.
So I cut my elbow and I have a
Damn.
big bruise on my leg from where my other pedal when I fell went into my
Ooh,
leg.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a little tender this morning, but
You're
all
playing
worth
into the
it.
injury. Where were you? Where were you when you tumbled?
we were riding out in Orange County. It was a
shit.
beautiful ride. I've never been out in that
Me
mountain
neither.
range out there. It was so beautiful. I was like, where am I?
Interesting.
But it was just rolling hills
it.
and then a couple of big hills. So
Huh.
it was nice because we barely had to stop. It was
Love that.
really hot though, so
I
it
bet.
was
It
like
was really
not
hot
fun.
yesterday.
But worth it.
Well, thank you for
Training
being
for that
here.
race. You can still
Yes.
donate if you like. I will post pictures, even though I've said that two times now and I haven't. So it's been a busy week.
Tara, you're only one person.
Well,
You're doing your best.
I have to admit that I could do better, Kat. Sometimes we have to admit that, right? So anyway, I'm carrying on with my injury.
You're a goddamn hero.
Sorry, you don't all have to cheer at once.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Hildy says, hey, I'm so glad we got a list. Well done, you. Thanks. You're welcome. Lists are hard. We had to think about that. Well, I thought about it last second, as per usual, but it took some thought. And then we
did.
ripped our own lists apart too. So, and I'm sure maybe there's someone out there ripping ours apart.
Please rip it apart.
But Hildy says, I fully agree with it. and was very happy Lord of the Rings Ring of Power made the cut. It's the show I'm looking forward to the most. You did not mention the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. I believe it was announced to premiere in August this year, and I think it has a potential to be very good, even though many did not like the last season of Game of Thrones. I thought it was an okay ending to an epic show. That's what I thought too. It was an okay ending.
It was fine.
I wasn't enraged by it, that's for sure. I know you guys ended up putting all the Star Wars and Marvel stuff off the list or on the list, but we kind of gathered it into two. We didn't put each film separately.
Just too much.
But I wanted to give a shout out to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse since you didn't mention it. The first one was so good, and I, for one, have high hopes. Keep on nerding. I'll be listening, Hildy. She sent some pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did.
Finally, springtime in Norway. Some wildflowers,
Beautiful.
an adorable looking house, some mountains, and then a little doggo.
Oh,
This says me and Chili on a stroll. She is an old girl, 13 years. We have been watching her this week. The kids are in love. Chili is a cute little, what breed would you call that? Kind of small, black and white, kind of medium, but a little gray face.
yeah.
And then in the background, of course, Chili is on some kind of bank of a beautiful lake with snow-capped mountains in the background.
Could be
So
a
good
lake.
for you. Good for you, Chili.
Could be a fjord.
Could
That
be
might
a fjord.
A fjord.
That has fjord potential. And then Hildy says, "Oh my God, you guys, the poop knife talk twice in 1 week. That's Chad.
Don't
What does
ask what
Chad
Chad
mean?
is. It's a whole other thing.
Really?
It's not. It's not good. If you didn't like the poop knife talk, you're not gonna like the Chad talk. So
Uh-oh.
we're just gonna move on.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna walk away from that one.
Let's just walk away.
Oh,
But
boy.
Hildy is clearly, she's. I think that was a little shout out to me and my own podcast. My mistake.
I see. I
Thanks,
see.
Thank you, Hildy.
Thanks, Hildy. Thanks for the pictures.
Yeah, Chili is
more-
so cute.
Geography. What's the word I'm looking for? I covet your geography. Envy. Geography envy.
There it
I
is.
couldn't come up with that. Anyway. Hey, guess who's next? Beck, who says, "Hey, nerds."
Hey,
Beck. Tara, you are so descriptive with everything you talk about. I love it
Thank you,
so
Beck.
much.
Thank you.
I had absolutely no idea what the hell you were talking about, as I have
No.
zero LA knowledge, but I was enjoying the ride nonetheless. I have big news this week. I have officially become one of the boys. I was added to a group chat between like 9 guys from work. They invited me to go see Doctor Strange with them when it comes out. They're even going to Gold Class, and that apparently that's the fancy cinema with recliners and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a good movie to do it for. They're all in their early 20s, so they make me feel super old. I feel like it'll look like a group of guy friends hanging out, and one of them brought their mom along. Oh, been there. Well, sort of.
Don't feel
Back
like
in the day.
No.
Tara,
no.
do you want to elaborate on? Yes,
Oh,
I have
no.
been there. Anyway,
Oh no.
they also want to go to an 8:50 p.m. viewing. Do they not realize what time that'll finish? That is so late. I have 2 kids that'll have me up at the arse crack of dawn the next day. Plus, I live nowhere near the cinema, so I'll be home even later. On the plus side, I realize they've organized it on Mother's Day. They've given me the best gift of all, time away from my children. Oh no, that's probably going to reinforce the whole mom of the group thing, won't it? People are going to think one of my fully grown adult children is treating me to a movie for Mother's Day. I'm definitely overthinking this. Maybe, but still, I get it. I am so unbelievably jealous of all the con goers. I got a little bummed out seeing all the photos and hearing everyone's experiences. I really want to experience that for myself. I want to feel that feeling of family that everyone talks about. I want to meet my people. I guess my little bro squad will just have to do. Love you guys. Beck.
Thanks, Beck.
Thanks, Beck.
Well, we'll try to, when we're at cons, we'll try to, be helping people live vicariously through tweets and things.
But
It's,
I feel it though. It's
It's-
it's
I
hard
get
to,
it.
It's hard to look
Yeah.
at all the things.
Right. I get it. It is hard, especially if you've ever been to one and know what the atmosphere is like and you see people
Exactly.
enjoying it like,
Yeah.
that looks wonderful.
Well, speaking of cons, we have an email from AK.
Okay.
AK says, I'm curious about this jumpsuit that seems to have rocked Anne's world, and I do have a severe case of con envy. We were just talking about that. I think going to a tribal gathering like that sounds great. And oh my God, I loved. So Tara, Tara, you have a new nickname.
Oh no.
It's This Is. I loved This Is and Wendy's wonderful live reporting voicemail of some of the roads available in your fine city. That was classic. Egypts. That's us. We're idiots. I love the possibility of snop tarts identifying each other in the wild through merch. I mean, those who snop are, I fear, somewhat few and far between. How dare you?
What?
You don't know.
How dare you?
You don't know.
So the first time one of us sees a snop t-shirt on a random stranger in the street, it will be a most momentous occasion. Now that would be amazing.
That
If you're
would.
just not at a con, you're just walking around and someone's in a
Yeah.
snop tart t-shirt, forget it. I imagine that will take place in LA. I think you must have the highest concentration of snop related people. No pressure, snop people of LA. Narrowing the field by virtue of being in a nerdy venue isn't exactly cheating, more just changing the likelihood from vanishingly remote to distinctly possible. That just feels like an insult. There's something
Yeah.
in there that I don't feel good about.
I don't even think they're trying to veil that insult. It's just
No, not
right
anymore.
there.
It's
No.
just, it's on. So, Snop Tarts, did any more of you mutually identify via the medium of apparel? AK. Thanks, AK. And there you go. Let us know. How many Snop Tarts met in the wild through the medium of apparel? We want to know.
This is Tara, and I think that the three of us just need to start wearing snop shirts all the time.
Right.
I mean, that's cool, right? When you wear the shirt for your own podcast.
Yeah, it's totally
And
cool.
then maybe we might be like, oh, I listened to them too. And we're like, oh, it's me. It's me.
Tara. So we're gonna have some
You're
talk-
welcome.
This is Tara.
See, it's funny because I'm Tara and I'm wearing a shirt that says gay for Tara. Would that be weird?
You know what though? No. Here's the thing, Tara. So we're gonna have some merch news coming up later in this podcast, but I think we need to make each of us a shirt, but that just has like yours can say "This is Tara."
That's amazing.
Like somehow put our names. So we may only order, we'll only order one for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But that way we can have the Snop logo. But then so they'll see the shirt and they're like, oh, that one's Kat. That one's Tara. This one's what like if
I like
some
it.
little thing.
Like
Yeah.
if we're out somewhere,
Yeah.
we wear it all together.
At a
Just out-
con.
Oh,
I mean, no.
Yeah, sure.
So it could be.
I meant like to dinner.
It could be hello and welcome to the Sheeners Up podcast.
This is-
Oh my God.
that could
Okay.
be cute. That could be
We got to
cute.
work on that.
Okay.
We'll work on that. Thanks, AK, for
It-
somehow giving me that idea.
We'll
via
sell
your-
exactly
your
one each of those
insults.
shirts.
Your insults have really, started some creativity.
Hey, I work best when I, I feel like I'm being
Insulted.
challenged.
Insulted.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
when
no.
I'm not saying I'm mad now because I'm not, but like whenever there's something like I kind of get mad, that's when I get motivated.
Oh wow.
But I'm not mad. I'm not mad at AK. I'm not just saying, but that usually motivates me better than just like not.
Yeah.
By the
Interesting.
way, talking about podcast listeners, let me just throw this in real quick. That there was a study that apparently found that people who listen to podcasts are more open, intellectually curious, and less neurotic than those who don't. So
Oh,
Wow.
if you're listening to podcasts out there, there's you got some good character traits or good.
what if you have a podcast? Does it make you?
No, you're narcissistic.
You're more neurotic and narcissistic.
That's exactly it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think you nailed it there.
At least we have a way to express ourselves.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, is it my turn
It
again?
is.
It's your
Oh.
turn.
I'm trying so hard to keep up today. Okay,
You're
you're
doing great.
thanks. But if you had told me I'm doing horrible, then I would have been like, F you, I'm going to do awesome this time.
I would.
next time.
Oh no, I've lost the email.
Oh no.
Not off to a good start. Oh no, I found it. Dang it,
job.
what just happened?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Do you need it again?
No, I got it. All right. Got one from Suze.
Suze?
Suze in the UK.
Oh.
Says, howdy, ladies of the Snop. as one of your shy UK listeners, I thought I'd finally grow some breasticles and email
I
to say
like
how
that.
awesome I think you all are.
Breasticles.
You had me hooked from the first time I heard your theme tune, and you now keep me highly entertained every Tuesday on my walk with my dog. What's your dog's name? The poo knife conversation had me howling in the streets with Gentleman Jack season 2 approaching. I also wanted to give a shout out to my little childhood hometown market of Market Wheaton, pronounced Wheaton. Okay, so I mispronounced that. Market Wheaton.
At least you learned
Yorkshire
quickly.
Wolds. When I was, they put that in there because they knew I probably messed up. When I was growing up there in the 80s and 90s, it was the exact opposite of diverse, which wasn't great for a young lesbian. I am, however, happy to say things have changed over time. And last year, they even put up a blue culture plaque commemorating Ann Lister's time spent living there. So if you guys do ever make it over here and go on your Ann Lister tour, I can give you a guided tour of not only Market Wheaton, but also York, where I now live, and where Anne took sacrament. I've attached pictures of the 2 plaques and thrown in some obligatory pictures of my beautiful boy, Shelby. He is literally a battery-powered doggy since he had to have a pacemaker fitted 2 years ago and very much behaves like one. At the age of 13, he's still bouncing around like a crazy puppy.
Oh, he's so
Suze.
adorable.
Thank you, Suze. Oh my gosh.
Shelby.
Oh,
Shelby is wearing a tuxedo.
Uh-huh.
Shelby has like a really cool pompadour type hairdo going on.
He does.
Cool. He almost looks like one of those like from the 50s, like a rock, rock and roll store.
Rockabilly.
Oh my God. Look at him. Oh, wow. He's 13.
I know, it's amazing.
Kind of like a Cocker Spaniel type of.
So cute.
Yeah. And there's Suze.
Looks very happy.
Hey, Suze. And those are cool plaques. Those
Uh-huh. They got a little rainbow around
They
them.
got a rainbow
great.
around them. That is
First
awesome.
modern lesbian.
Amazing.
The first
Modern.
lesbian. How are they verifying that information? She's the first.
That's good.
Do they
question.
just call her modern and then go from there?
Probably, I guess.
Or like, where's the line drawn at not modern to modern?
There must be some historical significance to that.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. They wouldn't just throw that up there.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a great.
That's great.
plaque.
I love
Mhm.
that.
I wish we could win the lottery and just go on a stop tour. And...
Oh, that'd be so
that.
nice.
Yeah.
By the way, this
Gotta-
poo knife thing's going to keep coming up. I just want to put it out here now. We're not making a poo knife shirt. So don't even.
Why
don't
would
put it
you
on your
even
list.
mention it? Because now people
Now,
don't want it.
oh my
Nope.
God, you've opened up a door
Nope.
here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not happening. No poo
Wow.
knife shirts.
Wow. All right, you had heard it here first.
I just want to go hang out with Shelby. He's cute.
Yeah,
I know,
Shelby's
Shelby's
so
cute.
cute. Thanks, Suze. Awesome
Thank
to hear from
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a little email, and by little, I mean it's pretty little, from Cynthia, who says, "Hi, I didn't get a chance to play the Snop game, but Palooza was a blast. Said hi to Ann and Casey in the hallway. Seeing them cosplay was epic. Attended the Emily workshop, and I presented our tables idea to the group. Attend an Emily workshop if you can at an ERPCon. I bet those are
Nice.
great. I haven't done it, but I bet those are fun.
I've done it.
Question. Oh, I bet you have. Question. Are you folks going to the XenoCon in November? I'm thinking about it, and the added draw would be a Snop meetup. Hells yeah, we're gonna be
Hell
there.
yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
there's some unforeseen life crisis reason I can't be there, without
Yeah.
question I'll be there.
Yeah, we have to go.
And
Been
all of
waiting
us.
for this for what, 2 years now or something?
Yeah.
They moved it.
When is it again?
I thought it was in August.
Put it in my calendar. Right
No,
Did it
it's
moved
November
again?
now.
Yeah,
It's,
they posted
okay.
it.
I'm looking it up now, but I think it's
Yeah.
like the first weekend in November. Let me see. It is 11/18 to
Okay.
11/20,
Okay.
Cool.
18, 19, 20.
otherwise known as November 18th through November 20th.
All right, cool. It's
Yes.
in the
Lots of
calendar.
tickets available.
Yes,
But-
Cynthia. We'll be there.
We will.
Ooh, we can get a
as-
vendor table. Should we vend ourselves?
Yes. Let's sell ourselves, as they say. I mean, our merch.
Yeah, we could look into that. I don't know how much creation charges for that, but
$200.
Is it really?
That's what it says on the website.
Shit, let's do
Oh.
it. Why not?
But then we'll be stuck at the table all day.
I think
Otherwise, we
can
can
get
just
on
walk around
the,
with bags of merch.
probably can get on the schedule.
But it'd be
Good luck. Do you know anybody over there, Tara? You pull
We've
some
been on
strings?
the schedule.
We used to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Make some calls.
Okay. We've been on this schedule
If they still work for the
several
company.
times.
Of course you are. You guys are big deals over there.
That's right.
Well,
we're big deals.
we were when they had them 5 years ago, but we'll see.
They don't remember us now.
Yeah.
We'll have to make some plans because we will be
Yes.
there. Oh, you kidding? We
we need to have a
all know
freaking
each other
meetup.
because of
Oh
XenaCon.
my God. Yes.
Is
yes.
it? Where is it being held, Wendy?
LAX.
Damn it!
I know.
Wow.
From all the times. And I just went to that beautiful Burbank Marriott the other night to meet a friend for dinner. And it's been remodeled. It's
wow.
so nice. They have this cool outdoor, like it's still daily grillish, but it's outside,
Nice.
kind of between right where you walk in the entrance of the hotel.
Right.
And they've got a bar and outside food and and it's wonderful. And I wish that had been there during the con. Instead, it was just all of us just
Yeah.
sitting out there. I guess there were some couches and bringing BYOB.
If you're not familiar with the Los Angeles area, Kat, Wendy, and I all live within a 10-mile radius of each other, all within the San Fernando Valley.
Yes.
And where we all first met, where they used to hold conventions, is in Burbank, where Kat lives, and Wendy lives about 10 minutes from there, and I live about 20 minutes from there.
Yeah.
Very easy, very beautiful, awesome place, the Burbank Marriott.
Right next to the airport.
Right next
You
to
know
the
what?
airport. And then every couple of years or something, they put it at the LAX Marriott.
Awful.
If you're not familiar with LAX, it's very difficult to get to.
Yeah.
From anywhere of the three of us live. If there's traffic, we ain't getting there for like an hour and a half. If there's not,
bummer.
take us.
I might
40
just stay down there depending on how
yeah.
life is. I might just go get a room. It's at
Right,
the
I'm gonna
Hyatt.
get a room.
Get
It's
a room.
Hyatt. It's not even at the
room.
Marriott. It's at the Hyatt. Oh, interesting. Well, that would be at least different.
I'm just annoyed.
Yeah,
I know. It could
is.
be so fun and close, but
It cannot be cheaper than the Burbank Marriott, right? Like,
well, let me tell you this
Maybe
though.
better
maybe-
deals down there. Yeah, I know.
Maybe they have a deal with the hotel, you know?
Yeah.
The-
I will say this. I'm sure they do, but given the airplane landscape right now, I guarantee you, for us who live here, it sucks because we got to drive in the traffic to get there. For people flying in, LAX, it does still suck, but the flights are more plentiful and cheaper. Because I just tried to go home. I've bought tickets to go home to Dallas and Burbank, and you could used to get there were like at least 3 or 4 nonstop options for any given day, and they were relatively decently priced, especially since you get free bags. Now there are no nonstop flights to Dallas at all.
That's
and
crazy.
they're all expensive, and they all have long, like you're flying for 6, 7, 8 hours to get somewhere. So I am now opting to go to LAX, which sucks. So
Yeah.
for people flying in, it might be a better deal. It's just for all of us, it's annoying because
Right.
it's so hard to get to.
And that's what matters. So
That's true. That's true. It's all about us
No
because
one
we do
asked us.
podcasts. We're narcissistic.
no one asked us.
Yeah. How could they not ask us?
I don't know. Do they not know who we are?
They apparently not yet, but we'll
Well.
let them know.
They're gonna know who we are.
They will know.
You know how? Because we'll have shirts on that say, "This is Tara. This is Wendy."
is Wendy.
Kat.
Hello and welcome.
Send them one.
Yeah, great. Hey, speaking of people knowing who we are, you remember about a month or so ago, over a month ago now, someone was sending us mystery beers.
Yeah, mystery beer buyer.
And at first it started with like 10, and then they did 11, and then guess what, 12. And incredible. We are so humbled and surprised and curious and all the things. So it's been a fun ride. We've come to the end of our ride. Someone has bought us 20 beers.
20.
And I'm going to read you the comment. It includes mystery emojis, but also this is their farewell speech.
Ah.
This has been a fun ride, roller coaster emoji. And I think it is time to pass the baton. I still can't tell Tara and Wendy apart.
Damn it.
Confused emoji. Kat, because of your lovely infectious laugh, this podcast is on my banned ! List. Do we know what that means? Banned list?
I mean,
No.
I like
banned.
bandwidth, band list, but yet
Hmm.
I don't understand the exclamation mark.
Moving on. And that's very nice. Thank you. I didn't write this, by the way.
Yeah, right. I think we all know who the mystery beer buyer is now.
And in emojis, check your snail mail in the coming weeks.
Another
like-
snail mail.
Another snail mail.
I like the emoji
They
code.
sent
fun.
some. Yeah, that's fun.
So
Where's that?
thank you
Will
so
it
much.
finally be a treasure map?
Maybe it's a treasure map. Maybe they sent them themselves. Maybe they will be at the post office. when I go. But I mean, don't know what to say. Just so generous and thank you.
Thank you.
and You're
It's been so
very
much fun.
you're a good person.
Yes, thank you so much.
Very generous.
Very generous. Amazing.
Well, it
I
was
like
a
how they
fun ride.
said it's time to pass the baton. No, it's okay. No one has to do this
No.
again. That's fine.
And 21 beers.
No
Go.
pressure. No pressure. So there
And we
have
still
it.
don't know. Well,
No, we
maybe
don't.
we'll never know unless there's something in the snail mail.
Exactly.
Oh,
They reveal themselves. We'll see. We'll see. To be continued.
Okay.
Are we moving on?
yeah. I think we know where we need to go, but we got to get in a pickup truck to get there.
Oh, hell yeah.
She Nerds Out presents live from
Woo! That was fast.
Purgatory.
Welcome to Purgatory, y'all. So we're recording this on Sunday morning on the 10th. Later tonight is the big finale of the Canadian Screen Awards. But they've had a couple of ceremonies the past few days, and Wynonna Earp has won several awards.
5 to be exact.
5 awards.
Already.
Come on.
5.
Tim Rozon, which is huge. He had a very lovely, perfect speech.
And it kind of like, there's a telecast? Is that what's happening later? So these didn't make the telecast, or at least not kind of like the Oscars did, not live.
It was live, but it was like a Zoom thing. So like
Okay.
there was one person there announcing the categories, and then you'd see the person accepting their speech in a little Zoom window.
I'm just surprised that Best Supporting Actor for a drama isn't going to be televised.
Maybe it was because they wanted people to watch, like, you know what I mean? Like maybe they wanted people to watch the YouTube channel. So they put some bigger awards in that
Gotcha.
broadcast. But
Well, congrats, Tim. That's awesome.
congrats to Tim. There was also the was it hair?
It was Best Achievement in Hair,
Okay.
Best Costume Design,
Amazing.
Best Production Design or Art Direction, and Best Original Music.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well done.
such a big deal. I'm sure it does nothing but good things for the fight for Wynonna. So incredible. And by the time that you're listening to this, you may already know if Melanie Scrofano won for lead actress in a drama, and if the show gets a Audience Choice Award. I can't imagine that it doesn't get the Audience Choice
Yeah,
Award.
I put my money on both of those things happening.
I will be surprised if they don't get the Audience Choice. I really hope Mel gets her award. Obviously, I think they recorded their acceptance speech if they did win the Audience Award at Erpapalooza.
That's awesome.
So if they do win, I think you're going to see a vast crowd of Erpers behind them. But so good luck. I'm sure they're going to. I really hope Mel wins. That would be huge.
Yeah.
She fucking deserves it, obviously.
Hells yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see if we'll talk about it next week. We'll see how it all plays out.
All right.
Fingers
Well, there's a new
crossed.
show on Marvel.
On Marvel.
On Marvel.
On the Marvel.
On Disney Plus. On the Marvel machine.
It's on the Marvel.
On Disney Plus from Marvel called Moon Knight. What's the guy's name that's in it, Wendy?
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaacs or Poe from Star
Poe.
Wars. Poe Dameron. Yay.
Yeah. Is he Poe? Yeah, Poe.
Yes, he is
Hot shot pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of short.
Yeah.
He's not Poe-like at this point in the
Not-
series. He's very like a befuddled,
Befuddled. That's a good way of putting
sort
it.
of awkward guy who works
Yeah.
in a gift shop at a museum,
That's perfect.
and also
The
has
show is great,
conversations-
but he's
Oh,
like he
fantastic.
plays that character of like kind of like hard to watch. Like you're
Oh
he's
no,
gonna me-
a little
you know, and
cringy.
he's like losing time because of his disorder. He kind of he's like missed dates and you know and you're like,
disorder,
oh, man.
as in someone takes over his body disorder.
well
as
his
happens.
dissociative personality disorder.
No, Tara, you haven't watched episode 2 yet.
Okay, well, I know, but I'm saying yes, he's losing time because another identity is taking over.
Well, it's not even. I don't know that it's an identity. It's a whole nother being.
Well, whatever. He's not there. He's not there. The befuddled guy isn't there, and it's
Right.
making his befuddledness even worse because he's like can't even get to work on time and do it, just and then he's like, "What? It's Sunday? I thought it was Friday." Like that hardcore.
He chains himself into bed, and I guess he puts sand around his bed, which I'm not sure why that, unless to see like if he like sees
like
steps or
footsteps.
something.
Yeah.
And then, but some being takes over his body, which we find out is a man named Mark Spector, who sort of inhabits him from time to time. So there's also what's his name? What's the guy who plays Ethan Hawke, who plays this
fun.
weird, creepy, evil sort of culty leader thing, who's a bad dude, and we find out he's trying to start like a world where you just get rid of evil before it starts. Like you can judge. He's got these scales on his arms, and you can judge whether or not someone is evil, even if they haven't done anything evil yet.
Like
You can
Minority
judge it,
Report.
and then they
I
die.
was gonna say, that
Right,
sounds
you're right,
familiar.
exactly. But he's a very nice, awkward guy who sort of like gets himself. Somehow he gets a date, but then of course he misses it because the other
He goes up on Sunday and he missed it on Friday, and then
Right.
he's like, "Oh, I'm here waiting for a date." He's like, "You're freaking kidding me! It's Sunday, fool. You're supposed to meet me on Friday. It's just a
Fool.
joke."
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you talking about?" My God, this guy. What? How could that be? He talks like that. It's easy. I got an English accent, or do you think would be sexy? But he's playing in this character. Oh
Please,
my God.
please, sir, can I have some
God,
more?
it's to get it together. Yes.
He's very confused about what's happening in his life.
How far, Wendy? How far into it have you?
Well,
how
there's
many
only 2
have you seen?
episodes. I watched
great.
them both.
Okay.
So there's also this sort of you find out. So there's what's his name, like Kanushu. It's not that. It's I'm trying to find the name because it's like this weird Khonshu, like a weird creature thing that sort of follows him around all the time. He like this Mark, who's also living his body, will take over. Like he somehow ends up like where in this land where like the Ethan Hawke and his little tribe of people are, and then he gets attacked, and this Mark kind of he like starts zoning out, and this other Mark comes in and beats him up, but you don't see it. You just see him wake back up, so you don't see the other half of who he is or this other entity doing the fighting. Or there's like a great chase scene where you just all of a sudden stuff has happened, like stuff is different, and he wakes up wherever, and so you don't know what's happening either. You're just with him.
This
at least the
voice
first
in his
episode.
head, like
Yeah.
between when he switches to Mark and who he is sounds like Optimus Prime, and I'm
Yeah.
like, is that
Oh,
that voice is legit? Sounds like Optimus Prime from the Transformers movies. This idiot again.
Amazing.
Don't
And that's
let me-
Khonshu. That's Khonshu.
Okay.
Looks like a weird bird skeleton thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you also find out, like, in episode 2, he's got this little amulet thing, like a little gold item that Ethan Hawke wants, and he's like knows enough, and he's like, I think, or maybe that was the first episode where he's like trying to hand it to him. He's like, sure, you can have it, and his body just doesn't let him give it to him. And then Mark's former girlfriend or current girlfriend Layla shows up in episode 2, who she doesn't believe this is Stephen Grant. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about with this, Mark. And I'm Stephen Grant. I mean, look, I've watched 2 episodes. It's one of those that has really no relation to anything you've seen in Marvel so far. And a lot of people know about the series, and as far as things that are coming up. I've seen comments like, there's a whole lot they're not showing yet, sort of thing. And so you don't know, like, what is the whole deal with Ethan Hawke and Khonshu and Mark, and how did this all come together? And you just don't know. But I'm loving the look, the feel. I like the befuddled Steven. He's a nice man. He's friends with one of those guys who just is still from money on the street, and he's painted all gold, and he's just still, and people need money. But so that's who he goes to talk to as a friend.
But it's all steeped in like Egyptian gods and history, so it's got that.
Yeah, it's got a lot of that. I think the museum he's in has a lot of Egyptian stuff that he knows all this stuff about.
But he works in the gift shop. He's not a cool archaeologist or something.
So by the end of episode 2, Mark has kind of taken over, and yeah, I mean, I feel like I need to watch them both again, just because there's a lot. There's new characters, there's new things, and but that just basically is should you watch it? I'm digging it. I love it. Some people, I've seen a couple of articles that just say, I think I'm done with Marvel, and I think maybe the fact there's no connection to any of the stuff so far that we've seen. But I maybe they're not digging that, but
then they don't really. I don't really think they understand what Marvel is. That it's a vast universe, and that not all the Marvel things.
It's a multi-universe.
Comics revolve around the core group that you've seen. So there are a lot of other stories to tell that don't need, nor are they in the comics, related to Captain America and all of that.
Yeah, just if it ends up being just a standalone character, then just enjoy that.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's just an enjoyable show to me. I like the way it's done, and it's a little more kind of violent-y than some of them.
It's a little scarier. It's a little scarier.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they had rated it like a little bit more mature.
Ooh, that's
so that
good.
I think was one of the first things they had rated that way, to which Disney Plus had to make now you need to sign on and basically do parental controls to make sure that we can allow, I think it's like TVMA. It was like one of the first TVMA things they've had on there, that
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
That you had to update your account settings to say that you allow that sort of thing.
That's good.
Yeah. Because, I guess, that is good, because it's mostly, PG.
Yeah, it's definitely,
13. Yeah. So,
I've heard the complaint that, it's now that Disney owns Marvel, it's all just kid stuff. It's all for kids, but I'm glad they're getting more into the mature audience range.
Yeah. And by all means, it's not HBO. It's, it's there's any horrible,
right.
I mean, it's just more so than
scarier images,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That Khonshu bird thing is really creepy. And then he's able to summon. He's like, just summon the suit. And so at one point he summons a suit, but then someone says he looks more like a crazy Colonel Sanders or something. Like, it's not the right suit, but it's a suit. But yeah, I just like the pace of it. I like the Oscar Isaac is fantastic, and I'm on board. There's only 4 left. It's only 6. But
wow, it's a short one.
It's a short one, but
I'll watch it. I'll get
we'll
into
see.
it.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's cool. I'm digging it.
Nice.
Keep it coming. I mean, unless something's just horribly horrible, I can't imagine not watching anything that comes up on Disney Plus, Marvel or Star Wars related.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Well, speaking of the multiverse, something that's not on Disney or related to Marvel, there's a movie out right now called Everything Everywhere All at all at once. And it stars Michelle Yeoh. It is an action, sci-fi,
Comedy,
comedy,
drama.
all of that. And Wendy and I went to see it last night.
Oh, you went to go see it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
very
was
cool.
not
heard a
going
lot
to
of-
not see this in a theater.
Had heard a lot of hype about this movie.
Mhm.
Had seen a preview for it before, and it's like kind of one of those that look kind of cool. And it's Michelle Yeoh, and then weirdly Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's going on here? What is this movie about? And then reading the reviews, it has like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 96% audience score, 97% critic score. So there were high hopes for this movie.
Yeah, the trailer is so intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't know who Michelle Yeoh is, she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
If you don't know who Michelle Yeoh is, where have you been? What rock have you lived under? What cave
was
have you been
also
in?
emote-
Jesus.
Most recently been in Shang-Chi in the 10 Rings. That was really good. And she was great in that.
Great.
So, yes. And then Jamie Lee Curtis is, and she's in it quite a bit, actually, more than I
Amazing.
thought.
Mhm.
So, and it was really great. So, Wendy, thoughts? I don't want to give too much away.
Oh, that's the thing. I don't want to say anything more
Right.
about this movie because you know the basics. If you've watched the trailer, you know it's about Michelle Yeoh, who plays this woman, Evelyn, who gets sucked into this, she has to kind of get in touch in certain ways with
Right.
various versions of herself
Mm.
from all the multiple multiverses that have been
Right.
created. And and it does a
Someone
lot.
from the Alphaverse, what they're calling the Alphaverse, comes and says,
Yeah.
"You have to help us. Dave, we need you."
There's a great evil that can destroy all the
Yes.
multiverses.
And it's really funny. Like, I don't even want to give away.
No, I don't either.
Why she's the one that they
Yeah.
need.
There's just too many fun little surprises of what's going on, of all the different
Weirdness,
multiverses,
cleverness
of how they get in touch with certain multiverses.
Oh my god!
It's a movie that, like, when I saw it, I was so hyped to see it, and I do really, really like it. I feel I definitely will be seeing it again because there's just so much happening. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a lot going on. Let me tell you, Leah needs to see this, and you, just from a sheer editing, how they, and I feel like, I want to look at the budget. I feel like it was a $20 million movie,
Whoa.
which there's a lot.
Not a lot
I'm
of
going to
money.
double check that because that feels low. But it
for being
Just-
so sci-fi.
25 million was the
Oh,
budget,
wow.
which is
That's like-
insane
Right.
and shows what you can do with not even a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of money, but not compared to like Marvel, but
I was
with
going
a
to say.
good idea and a clever execution. And let me just tell you, whatever you think you're going to see in this movie, you're not ready. Things will surprise you as far as how things happen and what happens and just just the going back and forth. And then just even the human story. And then the kid from freaking Dr. Jones, Indiana Jones, he's grown up
Oh,
now.
right.
He's the husband.
Short round.
Short Round, who has an actual name that I feel like needs
it's
to be
fine.
said. But that's how everybody knows it. Ke Huy Quan. And let me just tell you, and a person, and there is a gay element. Her daughter in the film has a
Wait,
girlfriend.
Yeah, her daughter's
Awesome.
gay. Plays a big role. It's really awesome.
The daughter, Stephanie, I don't know how to say this, but Hasu,
I
plays
think.
the daughter Joy. And I will just say this, I thought during the movie, like which they better never do, but like if you wanted, she reminded me of a character that like Florence Pugh would have nailed. I could totally see Florence Pugh doing this character, but she
Had
was
that-
fantastic.
Yeah,
And she kind of had the voice, like the kind of,
yeah.
Little
She just
husband.
was really cool.
yeah,
and
she was
fun to
great.
watch.
She was great.
Awesome.
Jamie
And I
Lee Curtis
really
was
like
great.
how they portrayed her relationship.
Yeah.
with Becky.
yeah.
Great.
And
It was
the
great.
relationship between Joy and Evelyn and how they navigate the issues that they are having navigating that that queerness in her daughter. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
is.
Becky's really cool too. The
Yeah.
girlfriend. She's
Yeah.
really- It's their
And
fun to
there's
watch.
another sort of gayish couple that I won't even say anything more about.
No,
Another
oh my
multiverse
God,
that, let me tell you again, you don't know what you're getting
you
until you
don't
see
know.
it.
I don't even know.
And I love that and it's one of those movies that you think of all the things that they do in this movie, and when you see it, you'll know what I mean.
Mhm.
And all the ways they tie it together, and think how in the hands of other directors, editors, whatever, this could be a laughable joke of what the hell am I watching? Instead, it's beautiful. It makes sense. It's engaging. They're Daniels, with two guys named Dan or Daniel. And so they direct together and they call themselves Daniels.
Huh.
They
But-
made the other movie they made was
Like
I can't
something
remember
of
the name
Army
of it.
Man with Daniel Radcliffe as
Swiss,
a farting
Swiss Army Man.
dead
Swiss Army
corpse
Man is
or
what it's
something.
called.
Is
Yeah,
some weird movie.
but Dan Radcliffe was in it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was weird, but not. I mean, this is Tara, and I'm not like a big David Lynch weird movie fan, and this movie was a little bit weird, but like in a great way, and it was pretty easy to follow, but it's really cool how it all came together.
This is Wendy,
And-
the weirder the better for me. And I love the weird. And you're right. It is weird. Like, okay, there's a girl sitting next to me that I'm like, she's like, I could tell half the time she was confused, but she laughed at funny things. But then I could just hear saying things. I'm like, if you have to sound up a movie when you watch it, just don't come. But yeah, there's a lot, but there's like a lot of fun. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of funny. There's a lot of things that make you think. That really make you think as far as concepts of I don't even want to say anymore. Just go see it. Things that I think about a lot that I love that are in some weird, crazy, comedic, actiony way are in this film. And it's also just the way the film is put together. I feel like when you watch a straightforward film, it's going to feel like, this is just a movie. But this is like a whole thing. Like just the style of it and the editing and the pacing and the experience of it was I just loved it.
Yeah. For Leah and you, I think just knowing what goes into the editing of just a regular movie and then to see this, it's like, oh God, I just can imagine. That was one of the things I was thinking about when I was watching. It's like, this was so hard.
How did they do this?
For $25 million, which considering what you see, and there were definitely effects. There were a lot of effects in the movie, but I guess they found a way to.
I mean,
probably less than you think, honestly.
It's probably what Marvel spends on VFX alone.
It's probably what Marvel spends on their actors alone. You know,
Right.
I mean, just the actor salary for a Marvel movie cranks it up there. And this, Michelle Yeoh is by far the biggest. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously too.
She's she definitely has. It's more than a bit part for sure. It's a part
for sure.
but definitely Michelle Yeoh. I mean, and she was so good at portraying all these emotions and versions, and she made it feel believable. And the whole time I could just thinking about like, how did they introduce this idea? Go Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis, be like, look, we want to make all this crazy shit. Well, I can't even. And there's so many things in this that you're like, oh my God, they had to go to Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis and be like, this is what we want you to do. What do you think?
Well, I read a little bit about them. How I think one of them was like on a long cross country drive and came up with something as far as multiverses and how you get from one of the creators, or one of the creators, and how you draw upon skills from another you in another universe type of thing.
Interesting.
And then kind of met up with their the other Daniel, and then they kind of came up with crazier stuff, and then kind of tied it into more like a angsty kind of drama. And they're like, oh my God, this is all the things we love, and we can put it all in one big movie. It's like, we can't ever figure out, do we want to do this or this or this? Or they're like, we'll just do it all in the same movie.
Awesome.
And then Michelle Yeoh, I guess, got the script and said, for one, she didn't tell him before she met him, but said she was just she started even tearing up when she was saying this about, this is someone this is all the things I'm capable of that people just never think I'm capable of. Like the comedy, the drama, the fighting, whatever. She's like, someone has I can finally show people all these things that I can do that I've never been asked to show, like in a
Amazing.
movie like this. But she also said when she met with them, she wanted to, and again, with a movie like this, you got to know that the directors are full out committed, passionate, whatever. And this is not just like, you got to trust them because they need to trust directors in a movie like this.
Mm-hmm.
And when she met with them, I guess they had that level of passion of explaining what they were doing and the feel and the tone and what they wanted to say. And then she signed on. And I tell you, people are just raving about her in the film, and deservedly
I hope
so.
this gives her like a new renaissance because she deserves it. She's amazing.
Between this and Shang-Chi, it should,
Yeah.
She's cool.
Yeah. And then
Beautiful.
And then her daughter, like, it's just, they're so good, and they're so good together,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The daughter was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The more I think about it, the more I totally want to see it again. I'll probably wait till it streams somewhere just instead of going back out to the theater, but I definitely want to watch this again. I feel like it's a movie that needs a second viewing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be one of those slow build movies. There was like quite a few people in our theater, like, it wasn't packed like a Marvel movie would be or anything, you could tell the audience was loving it. And got it, was, so
good reaction.
I hope that it gets the attention it deserves, and that it's obviously as critically, I just hope it does, even if it's like a slow build, kind of builds on this momentum of like people go to see it and they're like, oh, that was really cool, and then more people wanting to see it. So I thought it was just a really cool, just fun but powerful and just creative, really creative.
Very,
and
very.
Just the way they did things. You've seen some of these things. The concepts done so many times, but some of the ways that they did it just made it feel very fresh and fun.
Wholeheartedly. Even the ticket taker on our way in, she's like, you're seeing everything all at once. It's so great. Oh god. Good. Thanks for building my hopes up more. Ticket taker. So yeah,
highly recommend. Go see it and let us know what you think. You agree, without too many spoilers, in case Kat doesn't go out and see it first. But
yeah,
we won't read the spoilers on air.
Speaking of spoilers, the Killing Eve finale is tonight, and I'm not going to say anymore as the night of we're recording this. That's all I'm going to say, because I went to Twitter and looked at something not even related and just saw enough to hint at something, and so that's all I'm going to say. And and of course it'll be out by the time this airs, but just note to self and anyone whose finale is coming up, don't go to Twitter at all on the day, because people just say things that they don't think's doing anything, but it spoils things.
I hate the spoilers that like they're trying to, they know that they're actually spoiling it, but they're trying to like somehow hide. Right. They'll be like, oh, I don't want to spoil, but say this that totally gives it something away.
Well, then don't do it.
Like, just shut up.
Spoilers without context. I know. Don't say anything.
Right.
Especially the day it airs. And I know people have seen it because of AMC Plus. So, which I hate that. I wish they had just saved that.
Right.
So everybody sees it the same night.
That was stupid. I thought they told that they would, because they've been showing the next week's episode like a week ahead for AMC Plus. But to do that for the freaking finale, that's just cool.
I mean, it's not like I'm not going to watch now, but it's just, come on, man.
It sucks.
In this day and age, people can't keep their mouths shut.
No, and some people are just assholes, and they want to spoil things because they're jerks.
Yeah. So,
wow.
But anyway, so we'll talk more about it, I guess. I mean, I'm not that devastated, but I'm still going to watch and enjoy it. But it's just annoying. Just like, and I'm just mad because I wasn't looking for anything. I was browsing something totally unrelated to the show.
Yeah, of course.
But so here we are. But I'm sure it'll be great. Listen. I'm excited. The season's been fantastic, so I'm still excited about it. And as of this podcast coming out, I'll have seen it.
We'll talk about it next week. So if you're not caught up, better catch up, because then we are going to be giving you time to watch without giving away spoilers. So
if you need Kat, we can cut you out of that part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be spoiled.
I don't know.
And you've got a long way to go. So I know it's, and I know you're busy. So you can mute us.
Just don't edit that. We'll just make sure that we keep it concise.
Don't edit this time to this time.
Just be perfect.
It in.
Just be perfect.
We will. We always are.
Okay. You are.
Okay. Well, guess what? More big news. before we go. So we want to tease. We have new merch on at our new spot, which will be revealed after next week's episode because we're going to be moving to Redbubble. We were on Teespring or something, but
and
they
kept
were all
deleting our
jacking
stuff.
us up.
Yeah.
What's cute, Teespring? Rude.
Jerks.
So we
And the
moved to
stuff
Red.
wore off the shirts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it wasn't great quality.
Yeah, Cat wore one of the shirts.
My
One time,
big
it
old
was
cozy
just like
sweatshirt.
had like barely a sliver left of the snop, and the rest of it all like ripped off. So yeah, never mind them. We're moving to Redbubble. So we are in the process of moving the designs over. You might not know how many designs there are because Teespring would take some of them down when it wanted to. So now Redbubble won't do that. So we have to move everything over, and then we have to like resize all the stuff to each of the things. So,
It's gonna take time.
And then we
construction.
have a couple of new designs.
You guys, new designs.
By
They are great.
request.
They are great.
It'd be like a gay for Tara one.
Hey.
See what else we come up with. But
So good.
you'll still be able to get the Snop Tart, and then it'll just be on Redbubble. So we'll get you the link to that. And so this week we're working on moving everything over. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Thank you for your patience.
Back your patience.
Patience is appreciated.
Yeah, it's great. Can't wait to see them.
Well, if you'd like to give a shout out or say hello, you can go to the Twitter, but not on the day that a finale of a show you like airs. I'd avoid it on that day. But at Snop Podcast is our Twitter handle.
Mm-hmm. And that's also where you can send us any other shirt requests that you have.
Yeah.
No poop knife.
No poop
I feel
knife.
like the more you say it, Wendy,
Yeah.
the
No.
more people are gonna want
I'm
it.
just trying to nip it in the bud.
She's trying to manage expectations, which is fine. She can try.
Not that anybody wanted one, but
Well, they will now.
We're gonna find
Nope.
out.
But okay, so go ahead and put any suggestions other than that one, and or you can write us on Instagram or Facebook at She Nerds Out Podcast.
You can send us a email to shenerdsOut@gmail.com. You can go to our website, shenerdsOut.com, and you can you can listen to old episodes. You can buy us a beer. You can leave us a voicemail like Ann Hicks Bleecker did last week several times.
Ooh.
You can send us a message and just generally, snap out.
Or you can write us via the snail mail. If you want to write to Snop, P.O. Box 6732 in Burbank, California, 91510.
Burbank, where the Xenocon will not be taking place.
Beautiful
Yeah.
city, though.
Beautiful
Awesome
Burbank.
city. It is.
Yeah. Well, maybe for the next whatever anniversary this is, 40th or something, they'll come back.
Maybe.
I'll be so old then.
We'll have wheelchairs.
Maybe I should try to get back to my Gab costume for the November con. I don't think
just
that's ever
assumed-
going to fit
I just
again.
assumed you were going to be doing that.
No. It sounds like a lot of work. I have plenty of time, but it just sounds very like a lot of effort. So probably not, unless I do the potato sack. So anyway, all right, which I still have. All right, kids. Shall we do this again next week?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. It's a date. It's a plan. So we'll see you next week. She nerds out.
Out.
She nerds out. We're girls that like girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Are we
done,
applauding
everybody.
ourselves?
Yes, we are.
Yay.
Yay.
Snap.